Recording has started.
All right, last time left our heroes inside Neverwinter. They found some leisure time inside Serenity Inn Spa, which is a beautiful marble building that contains multiple bathhouses. They sat down inside the baths and took some time to chat and relax. Following up after that, they simply stocked up on supplies and they found some good prices for a few things. Met some new characters and some new faces inside different inns and taverns. Calico Kabuki especially was questioning the poverty issues around Neverwinter. Today we pick up with our group just now waking up early towards a pretty cloudy day, and there's just our main group: Razok, Uthal, and Shashanka, and Calico. They're all currently still inside the inside the Shining Serpent Inn, is where we last left off. Plan to head today, being that the city is kind of expensive, head towards Mount Hope now. As they gather their things together. Just wake up. Stuff is ready to go. What are you gonna do, Razok?
That is a good question. I mean, I'm ready to head out at this point. We've restocked. It's time to head out.
All right, so you guys start to make your way down the street towards the north entrance gate along High Road Trail.
Am I supposed to be seeing anything on the screen?
What?
What do you mean?
I'm just looking at the giant map of.
Oh yeah, that's what you're seeing. That's what you should be seeing.
Okay.
That's it. Heck, got this, buddy. So Zach doesn't really trust the online software yet.
It's because you're the one using it. I don't think it's the software he doesn't trust.
I'm just joking with him. Alright, so anyways, you guys head towards the north gate where High Road Trail begins to head north alongside the Sword Coast. As you go outside, Ryzok, make me a survival check right off the bat, or nature check. Nature check.
Nature. 14.
Okay. Calico thinks it's a nice day. I mean, it could be, the sun should come out soon. But you look on over as you're walking through the city with the beautiful roofs and the different white stone buildings. You see off the coast, it looks like storm clouds are brewing in. So it might not be much longer before you guys might get hit with heavy rain. You are approached.
Do we have like cloaks and stuff?
So, Calico kind of says, it's like he has his traveler clothes, So he has his traveling clothes.
Okay. I have a cloak, I think. If I remember right.
Okay. And you can kind of see the dark, it's kind of like a mixture of dark shaded ground clouds off to the west a few miles in the sky. At this moment, Uthal and Shashanka, they both sit there and instantly transform into lizards and hop inside Calico's pocket. Shashanka kind of does this right beforehand. She says, guys, I think Uthal and I are going to get this one out for today. He has a bad headache and a toothache, and I got things to do with my family. So she turns into a lizard and hop in Calico's pocket.
How does Uthal turn into a lizard?
What's that?
How does Uthal turn into a lizard?
You know what? It just happens, man. It's really weird. It just happens.
Seems kind of railroaded, dude.
Oh, dude, listen, I either do that or I have to split the party and do a one-shot later, and I'm not doing that shit. It's true. It's true. I'm not.
Interesting. They hopped in whose pocket?
Hold on. You want to be like that? Here we go.
I'm just joking, man.
I know, man. If we have to, Shashanka magically gets the spell polymorph and turns him into a lizard, and then she shapeshifts into a lizard. There you go.
That's bad.
And she learns this. She's like, "Oh, check this out!" With the slippery wand of wonder. And
She's like Rick from Rick and Morty. Like she accidentally turns
into a
into
newt.
a pickle.
Exactly.
And then she's like, "Oh wait, how do I get it?"
She's like, "Well, I guess if I can't beat him, join him." And she turns herself into one too. All right, so you guys head towards the gate, and it is what it is. I'll just back pocket that for later. But you guys head towards the gate, and you start to walk towards the high road trail, and it's actually, aside from the cloudiness, it's a good temperature. It's breezy. It smells like the wilderlands. It's nice. As you're walking north on the road a few miles, go ahead and roll me a survival check, Razak.
I rolled you one already.
Oh, it's nature, right? This is survival.
Oh, okay. 20.
Okay. So you kind of analyze the path. You kind of know the area a little bit in this Sword Coast around Neverwinter. And to your best knowledge, Calico suggests taking the path that goes north and then northeast through the hills. But you understand that it might be a safer route to go directly north and cut east through the forest. Calico kind of says, "I think we should pass up about 3 miles north, and then after we pass up about 3 miles north, we tow northeast through the hills."
Why would we do that when we can just go straight north all the way up the road and then turn east once we hit the forest?
I guess that is well, I thought that maybe the hills would give us some cover from any flying creatures, but I guess the whole forest is better cover. Okay, we'll follow your way, Razak. And so
Very
you guys
well.
continue. You guys continue heading north towards. You guys continue heading north on the high road trail. Cool. About 7 miles up the path at this point. You guys have been traveling for about maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 miles per hour. So maybe 2 hours around there. And you guys see that the road that you're walking on, there's lots of stone on each side. It's about a 20-foot path of high road. There's lots of vegetation and grass running on the left and right. It's quite green, and there's tall grass around you as well. It comes up to about shoulder height, and that's really tall considering Razak is 7 foot something. And Calico turns around for a brief second, and he sees 2 interesting figures kind of following them about a football field back, and he kind of gets a good look at them. He notices one is quite a large figure, and the second one is a rather shorter female, but still kind of stocky. He can't quite get a good look at the first figure, though. Points it out to you, Razak. He says, Razak, there are 2 people that have been following us up the high road trail.
What do you think we should do?
I think we should just let them go on their way, but if they happen to catch up to us, they could be bandits. We do not know who they are.
So, speed up the pace then.
Sounds like a plan to me.
We can lose them in the forest.
That sounds good too. So, you guys keep moving forward, and after about the end of the 7th mile, you suddenly hear behind some bushes on the left side, you hear a quick whisper, and Calico hears it. Razak, let me see what your passive perception is. 1 second.
14.
Yeah, you hear it too. You hear it too, my guy. So, you both hear. Should I say now? Oh yeah, say now. Hey, stop where you are. We got your coin. We want your coin, not your lives. Please leave your items where they are and get on your way. And let me transition you guys on over here real quick. And let me go ahead and get my boys over here. Bloop. Okay, let me reveal. Oh, you hear a voice say those things behind some bushes over on the left. Or you hear one voice say that behind the bushes over to the left. You guys are standing, however you want to position yourself, however you think Calico would be positioned. He'd probably be somewhere kind of behind you.
Yeah, I was ahead. I was.
Sure, so
somewhere
Calico
ahead.
will be 10 feet back and kind of angle. You hear this voices, alright, up you are. I want your coin, not your lives. Leave it where it be and be on your way.
I put a single silver coin on the ground.
Okay. You hear one guy shout from the bush to your right. He says, "But that's not enough." And you see a crossbow bolt come out from the bush from one of the tree lines to the right as well. And it's going to try to hit you. It definitely misses. It's a 14. So as this crossbow bolt cuts through the tree line, through the bushes, you hear "Paching!" as it hits your chainmail and kind of ricochets and splinters off. It feels a little bit of a bruise. And one of the guys pops out of the bush and he says, "Oi! Who misfired? We aren't supposed to be shooting at these people. We don't do that here." And he kind of looks at you all. As he gets out of the bush, he looks up and kind of walks around. He says, "Oh, my God. I didn't realize it was these two. These are the ones we heard about. Everyone, relax. We're so sorry." And Razok, as soon as he appears around the bush, you see a rather young individual. He's probably no older than 16 years old with brown, scraggly hair, with a crossbow in his arms. The crossbow that hit you was not from that direction. He's probably pretty thin, and you can tell after he realizes who you are, right off the bat, you can tell he's a little nervous. And he's like, "These are the ones we heard about. Everyone relax. Everyone relax."
Who? It seems you've heard of us, but who in the world are you?
I
picked my
Here.
silver coin back up.
Okay.
So he sounds like the Irishman, one of the guys in the woods.
Yeah, can you see the map? Can you guys see the map?
I'm on YouTube. Yes, I can. Okay.
Okay. So he's one of the gentlemen in the woods with brown hair. We're so sorry. We heard about you from some people over in the northern towns as well as in Neverwinter. The two that slayed out the Green Dragon of Thundertree. They're the Forsaken Sons. We're so sorry. We didn't know it was you two. We wouldn't have done this if it was you two. Then the rest. He's like, "Come on out, lads," and the rest of them begin to appear as well. Kind of. A few of them pop out. Slowly. They kind of shuffle through the wood line. And you notice that only two figures to your right pop out. And there we go. And so they all kind of come out, and you see this group of boys. With like crossbow bolts. Roll a perception check, my friend. Calico will too.
16.
It's more than enough. Do you see these crossbow bolts? It's like faulty equipment. It's as if the crossbow bolts would shatter under their own pressure after like 5 or 6 shots. At the waist of the one on the right, he's the biggest of the crew. Also looks to be the oldest, probably not a day over 20. And he has a rusty old scimitar. And as soon as they recognize that it's Calico and Razok, the blue-scaled dragonborn with the forward-pointed horns and the panther fur tabaxi, they immediately kind of back off and they kind of shuffle back a little bit.
You still haven't told me who you are.
We're the Forgotten Sons. We're really sorry about that. We're just trying to make a living out here. It's trying our best.
Well, unless you want to be forgotten forever, I wouldn't attack well-armed travelers on the road.
Yes, sir. Daphne, get out of the tree and say you're sorry to the man. And you see a third figure pop up out of the tree, and this is where that crossbow bolt came out. And she's like a black-haired girl who comes up to you, and she kind of gets up to you, and she kind of like goes up, and she's like gets on her knees, kind of in complete mercy. She's like, "Please, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I got so nervous. I'm so nervous."
That's all right. I'll let it slide this once. Calico, what do you think?
Calico says, he's like, "I think they should find new business. There's probably plenty of work that could be found in Neverwinter. Clearly, they're not prepped for this line of work.
Clearly. Like deep down, I want to try and recruit them before we go to Odin now. We need some red shirts.
We need some red shirts.
How would you like to make a few coins?
I'm asking the
Yeah,
leader
so
at this point.
Jeremy steps up and says, "Oh, you were talking. Let's talk numbers. What do you think? What do you think we're worth to you?"
I have need of assistance. A friend of ours here in this Calico's pouch. Looks like a lizard, but it's a druid. Wants to go to the big volcano over there. And on the way, I have need to visit a certain individual, and your assistance would be worth a few gold to me at least.
Persuasion.
15.
With the 15, you see Jeremy still behind the bush, kind of hesitant to walk up to you. He says, I appreciate the gold offer, sir, and it is quite a trip. We're all about to ventures, but
Yes,
we can't.
I could teach you many things along the way. Perhaps you could be much better at what it is you're attempting to do now.
Trying our best, sir. We don't have the coin to even bend ourselves. That mountains we hear it's dangerous. I think we're gonna go along. We'll drop our arms and we'll leave them here before your feet to be on our way. There's your nice.
So you will not assist me.
I don't think it's good for my friends Rufus, Mac, Boris, Danielle, and Daphne to go
I
out
offer
with
you gold and experience from a dragon slayer, and you turn me down.
You offer us death, sir. It's death that awaits for us young lads at Hope.
You
now.
can turn back at any time. I will not look down upon you, but we just need a few friends to carry some of the things we're hoping to get at the mountain back.
So
There could also be a finder's fee. Who knows what we'll find?
He says to you, I respectfully, Mr. Dragonborn, I respectfully decline for the safety of my group. Please accept our apologies. And he puts down a few copper pieces that they have, and they kind of disperse off into the wood line.
All right. I'll allow it.
It was a good try, buddy. It was a good try. I saw what you're doing.
Good try, but he didn't have any new tokens
I have
ready.
no charisma, so any charisma check is going to be a little
That's awesome. Put it next to Pop-Pop's flag. Talking to my wife.
God,
Razok,
God!
you just disappeared.
No!
Whoa!
I've disappeared into the forest as well.
All right, so they kind of disperse back into the bushes, and they leave around all these shitty crossbows that are splintered and malleable and just not in good condition.
I go ahead and take the time to crush these crossbows and whatever bolts are lying around as well. Yeah, go ahead and crush them.
Go ahead and go. You just smash them. You're just taking your Calico, as they run in the bushes, he says, "We better not find you back here again, or it's gonna be perfect time for you to die." I can't do Calico. Fuck it, I don't care. You get the point. He's like, "We better not find you back here."
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys keep moving forward, I'm gonna go back towards the map real quick. As you guys keep moving forward, the road begins to open up, and the stones begin to fade off as the road kind of is not well kept at this point. You guys are probably after about a whole 8 hours of travel. If you guys were to say, you probably end up right here in the fields. As you guys
So we pass
begin to
where
head
that port thing is.
a little bit more north of the port.
Cool.
So you guys begin to see the port last. You don't see port last, but you kind of have a general idea where it is, and then you say, "All right, 2 or 3 miles up this way, then we'll head to the right. And we'll make camp probably somewhere in the grasslands between the forest and the thing. You can keep going if you want to; it's all your call. But that's where, if you were to make camp at a normal pace, that's where it would be.
Right.
As you guys are going through the grasslands, it's tall, it's thick. The grass comes up to almost your shoulders and breast line. Calico is kind of trying to anther his way through and kind of splitting the grass as you go. You look back sometimes and Calico disappears. He's kind of parting the grass in his own panther-like form. Roll me perception check real quick.
13.
All right.
It's getting a little darker, It's,
Yeah, you notice the clouds over to the coast are starting to come in a little bit this way. You've probably figured the next day you could have a storm on your hands. If not a storm, at least some rain. Both as you're walking, though, as you're looking up the sky, you feel yourself step on a piece of metal, and then that metal clamps up around the ankles of right around where your shin guards are for your chainmail, and it puts a lot of pressure. It kind of cuts into a little bit of your scale flesh and Calico as well. As you look down in sheer pain and agony, you notice there are 2 bear traps now, or bear trap around your leg, one around Calico's.
at the same time.
Yep. You guys. Yep. He failed his 2. There's more than one in the area, probably. Roll a dexterity saving throw to see if you won't get snapped by it. I kind of jumped the gun on the description before
Just
my notes.
Dex.
But dexterity saving throw. Yeah.
17.
All right. Calico. Razok, you're gonna take 3 damage, and Calico is going to take 7 damage.
Oof.
And as soon as you do that, you kind of get restrained. Calico gets restrained by this. At this point, he cries out with like a cat-like anger, and in that moment, you guys see a rather large figure who's taller than you are, Razok. Grayish skin, kind of stands above the grass line very effectively. He sees exactly where you guys are, begins to make his way in your direction. Somewhere behind him, close to him, is someone who's parting the grass, who's shorter than the grass line. You can probably see the top of her head. It's a brown hair. Up with you. See before you is an 8-foot tall, very weighted Loxidon, which is an elephantioid with gray skin, his traveler clothes on with his ears covered by a cloak. He has this chainmail with these kind of large shoulder armor pieces.
How are they approaching? Do they have weapons drawn? What are they?
I'm going to let Zach decide that, but No, he does not have his weapons drawn. He walks up with a shield at his side. The shield is a tower shield. It's a large gray. It's a large silver shield with the symbol of Helm in the middle of it. It's a gauntlet with an eye in the center. It is huge. But it's almost it's perfect for the right size of him. For a normal man, it would cover them entirely.
It's 6 foot long.
It's pretty tall. And then you see a woman approach to you from the grass line, pushing through, kind of shuffling her way. And you see this 5'2" tall woman who has like golden brown skin, and she kind of has a few marks on her body, scars that are probably from previous battles. She wears this studded leather armor, this hide armor that is across her breast line. She's pretty built, and she has brown eyes, and she has pretty thick eyebrows and brown hair. She comes up to you, and she doesn't have her battle axe, but you can see this large iron battle axe on her backside that has yet to see battle. It's a very clean-looking battle axe, in your opinion. So Calico is now on the ground, bent at his knees, trying to pry open this bear trap. Razok, it's digging into my skin.
Who the hell are you? And I kind of start walking over towards Calico to try and pry him loose. Did you set up these traps?
Inquisitor?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you was talking to me. No, I did not. These traps are not mine.
Well, give me a hand. I go to try and pry Calico out.
All right, so between you and Calico, you guys are both able to get Calico's paw leg out, and he kind of shakes it off. He shakes it off and pats up, kind of puts a little cloth around the wound. He says, "That should probably stop bleeding in a day or two."
Isn't he a cleric though?
Is a cleric, but it's gonna. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay. Sure, I'll help you with that. And I reach down and try to pry it off.
Yeah, you guys are able to successfully pry it off, and Calico looks up and says,
Oh, okay.
Thank you, traveler."
I rolled for it.
Oh, it's fine, dude. It's a fucking trap. That ain't a roll.
Careful. I think I saw a couple more of these. Did you need something?
No, I am on my way to Mount Hot now and just happened to run across you.
An interesting coincidence. What has you going that way?
I am looking for someone.
Mayhap I am also looking for someone. Describe this person to me.
I didn't write down what he looked like.
Gotcha, buddy.
He's a bald man.
There you go.
Stocky.
Huh?
He's a stocky, bald man. Or possibly an old man with a cane, depending on what angle you're looking at him at.
Interesting. I've never heard anything like that.
His armor has a blue shimmer.
And Zach, this most defined feature are the 3 horizontally tattooed eyes across his forehead with a beard on his chin. Double.
Beard on his double chin?
Beard on his chin. It's like a stubble. It's like a stubble.
I
Beard.
thought you said double.
Right. So, yeah, that's what he describes to you, Razok. And Calico is kind of like, Calico then decides to actually use Cure Wounds on himself. He holds down and kind of cuffs it and, says, so a quick little tidbit to his Bahamut.
I would like to do lay on hands on Razok.
Oh, thanks, dude. I only need 3 HP.
Alrighty. Subtracted. Okay.
It's just a little wound. He just needs a little bit of it.
Just like 2 fingers, not a whole hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful 8 for my buddy Calico here, back up top. All right, so Calico, he looks around and says, "Hey, Razok, I did not realize there be traps here. Perhaps it's a hunter of a hunter's traps. They're definitely air traps. Hey, I think regardless, could you come here and if you would join us? What's your name again?" And he points to you. Jack, he points to your character.
I am Balerov, Inquisitor of the Church of Helm.
My name is Calico, and this is Razok. We are traveling to Hotenhell as well. Here, come with me for a few seconds. And do you approach him, Inquisitor?
I do not.
Okay, that's totally fine. He's going to Razok. He sits there. He kind of gets close to you. He kind of holds his eye at Bahamut. And he says, "Bahamut, I understand we have some non-believers amongst us, but help them believe and show them that you are with me." And he cast aid, and that means you get 5 extra hit points increased for 8 hours maximum. Your hit
All
point
of us?
increase. Well, not him because he didn't want to take the blessing.
Who?
Our boy, the Loxidon.
Oh.
Oh, I don't get it. Okay.
Oh, you didn't approach him. You denied it.
Okay, that's fine.
So
Okay.
5 temp HP, okay.
Oh no, 5 maximum hit points.
Oh,
And
it's not
5
temporary.
HP. It heals
Yeah,
you too.
Heals you 5 health points, and you get to
Yeah.
increase your health by 5. 8 hours. Okay. And he looks at you, and you kind of see this glimmering white light kind of spin around him, and then it kind of infuses into both you, into your flesh, and you feel a little bit of a blessing kind of course through your veins. It's noticeable. It's noticeable. All right, now I
feel oddly good. I don't know what that was, but thank you.
Oh, it's not a problem, Razak. Our new friends, well, not new friends, but perhaps maybe traveling companions, going towards the east through the forest. Do you wish to join us?
I don't see why not.
And
I
Lydia
look towards my partner.
Lydia kind of pops up. She holds out her hand with her great axe, and she holds out her hand to shake yours. Right? She goes, "My name's Lydia Mullins, ex wearbear."
I look at her and
X
say,
what?
"You probably shouldn't tell that to people."
A
She
werebear?
she says that she shakes you. She shakes you and goes, "Hi, it's the truth."
Because there are other people like me who would strike you down immediately for that.
Oh, right. Emphasis on X. Wearbear.
What is it? Tell me, what is it exactly that Inquisitors do?
We track down criminals, murderers, and the supernatural. And as a
Like
Paladin.
maybe like a werebear. That seems
like
a
a
bit
werebear,
up your
yes.
alley. But you travel
Oh.
with this one.
This
Oh,
one is aiding me as recompense for her past crimes.
I see. Somewhat of a penance. Makes sense. I suppose you are allowed to join. I feel no ill will here.
Says great, because I gotta tell you, do not want to tussle with this guy.
And she is under my protection as long as she is traveling with me.
Aw. She kind of sits there and says, "Yeah, I was a." Just says you raised. She goes, "I was a werebear until my curse got removed by Dragonborn, where I was captured. But regardless, he helped me get out of the situation I'm in, and I owe him a debt. That's the
It's good to
situation."
hear other Dragonborns doing decent things these days.
Oh, sure. So as you guys finish up the collaboration, as you guys continue walking, it starts to get kind of late, and in 1 second, let me get my notes. At this time, you guys are probably like halfway in the fields. Not about sunset's about to happen, and you think it might be a good time to break camp, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You guys can press on.
What class are you, Razak?
What? I'm a fighter.
Fire.
I sent you a picture of everybody in the group sec.
It's a while
Okay.
ago.
I was looking for a picture of my dudes. I was just gonna send it to you.
So, you asking to set up camp? What time of day is it?
It's about sunset, probably somewhere between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock.
I've been personally, we've been walking all day. I don't have a problem with setting up camp.
Yeah, I suppose it's not a bad idea to set up camp now.
I agree. Let us break our items down. And Calico takes his stuff off. Go ahead and roll me perception, Razak and Balerov.
Perception is
13.
16.
Balerov, you feel like this location in this tall grass is not the most prime spot to camp, so you actually look over top the grass line. You find an open field where the grass is not growing as thick or as much, where it might be a little bit safer.
Lance, I need you to change my role to DJ real quick in the Discord, as it will not let me change music.
I don't know how to do that.
Right click on my character.
I got it. Hard rights. Gotcha. Go ahead. Okay. So you guys are you see Balerov, you see a better, safer patch of grass to sleep in. And Calico is like taking off his stuff. And you see Lydia is also taking off her stuff.
Are you sure you put me as BJ?
I mean, for us it says barred rights.
It says I have to have a role named DJ.
I don't know how to do it.
You should be able to just right click on my name and change my role.
I mean,
Is Bardic Rights the DJ? I don't know. I think the role has to be actually named DJ.
I don't know how to make the roll, Zach. You can do this later.
Well, if you want ambient music, no, it needs to be done now.
All right, how do I change your role? Let's do this real quick. That's fine. How do I change your role? Right click, go to roles. I go down to roles, and then the arrow says admin, adventure, DM, and then Bardic Rights.
I don't know
That's what it said.
Bardic Rights is, though.
I'm pretty sure Nathan changed that one.
Because I don't have the.
Actually, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what I gotta do. Hold on. Fixed. It's done. I have rights. Got it?
Let's see. Yep, there we go.
Okay, as I was saying, you notice a patch of grass it's in between sunset. It's getting to be sunset now, probably 7 or 8. There's a patch of grass that's kind of over towards the south direction, but not too far. You notice Calico is breaking down his stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
I start unpacking my. I don't have a tent. I don't think. I just unpack my bedroll.
You are? Okay, no problem.
How are the clouds looking and stuff?
It's a little closer. It's pretty. It's not much further from last time that I told you. Tomorrow morning they might be upon you.
Good to know. Yeah, I think it's time to break out the bedrolls and make some dinner or something.
All right, so real quick, Razak, I want you to roll me a nice little nature check or survival check. You can pick. Probably a survival would be more appropriate.
12.
Perfect. Calico suggests that he's going to go hunting, try to find something. He's going to take with him his he's going to take his spear, one thing he has to hunt with. Yeah, he grabs his spear and he's like, I'll be right back. And as he walks away, no joke, within the grass line, you see some shuffling through. Doesn't sound very large. It sounds quite it sounds like it's just kind of passing through it in a very slow pace. And it's not very tall, though, because it's very hard to see over the grass line, but you don't think it's any type of insanely difficult, dangerous beast upon you. Be food.
I would like to forage for some wood so I can start a fire.
Okay.
So I think there's a beast over in the brush. Something small, but
Doesn't
go
worry
after?
me much.
I'm gonna attempt to stalk it.
Okay, roll for stealth. Disadvantage if you have your armor on.
I do. I got a 2. I got a 19 and then I got a 2. Feels bad.
You do see the creature. It's like a very small boar, but it's a large enough boar for dinner. And kind of, do you have a longbow, or what would you be doing in this moment? What weapon?
I have a bow, but I would be trying to toss an axe at it.
Okay, so you have your axe out, and so you have your hand closer to the blade grip, ready to fling it. Creature, as soon as the boar, as soon as you kind of part the grass and you rear back, ear pricks up to the right side, and Calico, you see a spear land right beside it, and it flies off. And he just doesn't anything to you. He missed his attack roll anyways. And the boar kind of flies out, and Calico comes up and grabs spear. It was so close.
Calico, I had it. What the hell?
I think you had it, but it could smell you and hear you from where I was at. That creature knew you were there.
If it could smell and hear me. I was ready to throw, and it was there. There was no way I was gonna miss.
Oh, well, that seemed to be yet to be determined. Anyways, I'm going to go back by the fire with the large one.
Very well.
All right, guys. So take out those rations then.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. It's nice out. Clouds don't really provide any moonlight, but it's peaceful. It's quiet. Wind hits the grass. It brustles over. You hear the whistling of the blades, connecting with the forces of the wind. And you guys begin to drift to sleep. But someone might want to take watch. Calico recommends he can take the first shift.
And I'll take the second.
Should
Does
make our
anyone need-
lizard friends take one of the watches.
Absolutely. That sounds like a great idea. And he pulls out his pack, and the lizards are in like this little tiny rolled up cloth that he has, and they're both falling asleep already. Fortunate.
You hear that? You've got second watch.
Okay. The lizard's eye opens up and it kind of like nods, and that's that. All right, you guys begin to go to sleep. On the first watch, Calico it's again quiet and peaceful. He walks over to you, Balerov, and he taps you on the shoulder and he says, "Right." He says, "It's your time to take watch."
Balerov nods and sits up and goes and sits by the fire.
Calico gets inside his bedroll and just gets the nod off. In that time, though, Calico, while he was in his watch, he's gonna put. I won't mess with Jordan stuff like that. So, I'm about to put Revivify on that scroll, bitch. Never mind.
Can I see if I can smell anything nearby?
Sure, roll perception check.
I got a 14.
As you're sitting around the fire, you can smell the smoke coming from the embers. You can smell the nature of the grass itself. It's a heavy wilderness type smell, but it's nothing outside of those parameters seem to stick out to you.
Okay.
But again, it's quite quiet. And begin your roll me a Constitution saving throw, Zach.
Constitution saving throw. 16.
You're able to keep your mind focused on the watch at hand after you woke up from the first watch. After he woke you up after the first watch, and your second watch goes complete without any issue. It's now time for the third watch, which would be the last watch. So I guess the lizard sleeping next to Calico, and it's Uthal as the lizard. So walk over to the lizard, I guess, or do you wake up Razok? Lydia. You can pick either one.
I wake up Lydia because I still don't understand the whole lizard thing.
Don't worry about it.
I don't
worry
believe
about
them. I don't believe them. I think it's just a pet lizard, so I wake up Lydia.
Okay, sure. So Lydia, as you shake Lydia, she kind of like, having a nightmare of that man again.
Sorry.
It's fine. I just really, I just don't want to have a bad reputation for all the gray tribe. You want me to take watch? Is that why you woke me?
If you do not mind.
I don't. Get some rest. I will be vigilant.
Thank you. And I
No
go
problem.
back to my bedroll.
All right, as you guys are sleeping, Lydia's watch also happens to be complete. She does not fall asleep. And you guys wake up to the morning, and it is very cloudy. It is like dark clouds overhead, and you can feel some trickles of raindrops. Which, as you're preparing your items, what do you guys do as soon as you wake up?
I never took that out. So I was go ahead and eat another one of my rations.
Sure, for the day. You can eat part of it. You don't. It's for the day if you want to.
Oh,
or
it's for
if
the
you,
whole day. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll eat part of it.
Okay.
And that would probably be it.
Okay.
I'll pack my bedroll up, back up.
As it's beginning to rain, Calico says, "Shall I ask? I would like to give everyone here another blessing, if that is okay."
That's okay with me.
I
So
wouldn't say
Lydia
no.
comes in. Lydia comes in, and Calico begins to pray to Bahamut. He says something along the lines of, "Bahamut, yesterday was a day of success. Keep us protected for today as well. Let us take down our enemies with great fury if they come to pass with our combat." And then as he says that, everyone gets maximum 5 HP increase as he casts aid upon everyone. All right. And it is now the next day. So you guys wake up. And Brazok, what do you do as soon as you wake up? What does Brazok do?
He opens his eyes. That's the first thing he does.
Good.
Then I'm gonna go
Try-
put my armor and stuff on.
Huh?
Then I'm gonna rouse the boys, and we're gonna head out.
All right. So Lydia is already prepped and ready to go. Her bedroll's already made. He wakes you up, Balerov. She says, "Seems the rest of them are moving. Should we go too?"
Do you mind us continuing traveling with you to Mount Houghton now?
Like I said, I feel no malicious intent from you folks. You're welcome to come with. Seems we're down a few members for some reason, anyways.
And I look at the lizards again.
So
Calico
any
kinda-
assistance is probably appreciated.
Calico kind of looks at, kind of remembers Shashanka meddling with things she couldn't control. As you guys get your stuff ready to go, the rain does pick up a little bit. It's not anything to obstruct vision, but you can feel like it's about to pour. So you make your way for the tree line. After about, let's see here. You guys are about, let's see, 25 miles. You guys are just about outside mile 30. And it's now starting to get a little bit rough terrain. It's kind of hard to find your footing as you all begin to enter the forest.
Do we see any
The-
paths into the forest or no?
Roll me a survival check or perception check. Perception check.
Both of us or just him?
If you want to, too, as well, Zach.
16.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it say? Oh,
Even inside this forest, this direction that was taken, it was too thick to find a direct path, which might also coincide with most people probably taking the hills versus making paths through this forest going east. No direct paths that you can find.
No paths at
Um,
all.
Oh, you guys have to kind of hack. The forest is thick. It's
Yeah.
shaded. It's thick. It's shaded. The tree trunks are shoulder to shoulder. It's kind of hard to get through with all the bushes and brush line in the way. But you do manage. You do manage.
Looks like we're gonna have to make our own path here.
Kind of heading
Sorry?
towards the forest.
Calico follows behind you. Balerov, are you behind Calico?
Yes, and Lydia would be behind.
And Lydia's behind you. Okay. As you guys are walking, Calico says, he turns back to you, Balerov, and he says, "I hope you don't mind his assertiveness and his distrust in others. I have a sense he has a great chip on his shoulder that may have once led a scar on his history.
Not at all. I understand.
If I don't mind asking, it appears you might carry the same burden as well."
That is my own business, priest.
"In your business it shall stay. I don't have any quarrel with prying out information you do not wish to share." So Calico kind of goes his own way, and as he's going his own way, Razok, roll me another perception check. And you guys are traveling at a
23.
normal pace. Is that?
23.
You guys are traveling at a normal pace, slow pace. What pace are you guys traveling at?
Normal
Normal.
pace.
What pace?
I
Not
am
going
searching
too
for
fast,
traps
that's
as
for
well.
Yeah.
All right, roll me perception there, Zach.
23.
Razok,
Oh.
you do find a spot where it kind of opens up a little bit, and it kind of can cut down some of the travel time and make the thicket a little bit less troublesome.
I choose to take that direction. I'm also going to be kind of looking around for giant footprints as well.
With that 23, no giant footprints in this woods. Again, this is very thick brush and shrubbery that you're cutting through.
Yeah,
And
I feel like it would be obvious if a giant was around. So
you would notice that
Yeah.
tree branches would be snapped and it would be noticeable. Zach, what did you roll for perception?
16.
Razok, as you are walking through this thickened path, Calico is behind you, and he's kind of looking up, looking for the next dinner that you guys could have so you could preserve rations. And he does see something. He throws his spear, and he misses. So you guys see Calico. You see Calico instantly grab his spear, punch back with a Spartan stance, and hurl it forward at a bird in the tree stance, and it just whiffs into the tree. He shakes his head. He goes, Aramat, if I don't get my hunting down soon, you can kill me yourself. And he climbs up to the top of the tree with his claws and grabs the top. As he's in the top of the tree, however, Inquisitor, you notice something's not right with this open path about 20 feet in front of Razok. Razok doesn't notice it. He's walking towards it now.
Do I need to roll perception again to see what it is, or?
You just know it doesn't look right. You're too far behind to see exactly what it is, but you know it doesn't look right. Like it's been tampered with.
Okay, then I just announce to them to be careful. I think something seems out of place.
Okay. I kind of slow down and take it slower and look around to see what he's talking about. I'm a
Sure,
bit
roll
skeptical,
perception.
though.
Investigation is good. Investigation's fine.
Perception. 11.
Roll me acrobatics.
16.
Okay. So, Isaac, as you're kind of walking around at this point where you're standing, you don't really notice any difference in the grass and the shrubbery at the ground. Balerov, you quicken your pace to quickly get behind him just to be sure. As he slows his pace down, you kind of meet up behind him. Calico reforms at the end of the line. He's at the back. And now notice Azok takes one step forward and a narrow path begins to drop in front of him. The ground succumbs to his weight and he begins to descend into a pit. He's not agilic enough to catch his footing and he begins to fall where he's standing. And go ahead and roll me a athletics check, Balerov.
A 3.
Ooh.
Guess what? What?
A 3.
Total?
Yeah.
Oh.
I rolled a nat 1, but I have +2 to athletics.
Oh. All right, Razok. He's kind of as you try to grab him with one hand, your shield is in your other arm, and it's not enough power to resist his fall from gravity as he plummets down about 15 feet. Razok, I want you to roll me one last acrobatics check.
10.
That's enough. All right, hold on one second. Boom, 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 boom. Azok, you're going to take. As you're falling at 15 feet in a last-stitch effort, you take your claws on your dragonborn claws and dig into the ground behind you, able to catch your footing as wooden spikes, as you hit that 15-foot bottom, wooden spikes kind of skim across your knees and your thighs and somewhere in your rib cage, but nothing significantly impales you. You're going to take a 10 points of damage, piercing damage.
Okay.
You're 15 feet under, and you're 15 feet in this pit. So as soon as he does this, Calico immediately says, "Oh, hey, are you okay, Razok?"
Yes, I believe I'm all right. It looks like I'm the first thing to be hit by a spear in a while around here, if you know what I mean.
Dude, I do appreciate your humor in times like these, but I was quite worried about you. I'll work on my aim, and you work on not getting. You work on not falling into pits.
Thank you. Get me the hell out of here.
Okay,
I would like to take my chain. Or how deep is he?
15 feet.
It's 15 feet. 15 feet down.
Fuck. I would like to take my rope and toss one end down to him.
Okay, yeah. You take your rope, and Razok, you grab onto it, obviously.
Yeah, and I
And
kind
you
of
guys
pull
begin-
myself up off these spikes, and I'd start bleeding a little bit.
Calico, as soon as you get to the surface, 15 feet up, you grab the edge, and he kind of hoists you up to give you a little effort there. Not that you needed it too much. You're pretty athletic yourself. He immediately touches your legs and your sides, and he simply says, "How much? Show him mercy." And you get a nice little bit of a heal here. You get 7 hit points back from that 10.
Cool.
Okay.
Is he at the surface now?
He's at the surface. He's back on top. And you look, just to give you a little description of the scene, there's a lot of thick brigates to your right and left, and the path that was cleared out, you get the sense that this trap was laid by some possibly smaller figures. And the reason for that is the spikes are in a design like that of you would see around goblin fortresses. Not saying it is goblin, but the spikes are kind of different, but they're also, you're down there, Razok, you notice they're rotting. The pit is about 20 feet long, and it's about 6 feet wide, 15 feet deep.
Do you need more healing, Razok?
I could use a little bit of a top off, if you will.
Am I allowed to ask him how much HP he would need?
You can just give him what he needs, which would be 3 extra hit points.
So 3? Okay, so I use lay hands.
Yeah, sure. You put your hand, as Balerov puts his hand upon you, he holds his shield, he kind of gets on one knee, and puts his hand around the cut on your outer quadricep, and it begins to steep its way clean, and heals up and stops bleeding.
Thank you, Balerov.
No problem.
Calico says, "Perhaps if some of us here are really... I was distracted, and Razok, if you don't mind, it might be safer if the man with the trunk takes the front spot."
You have a point. I'll be honest though, I'm looking for something specific here, so, and I believe he is too. It doesn't sound like those two are the same thing, so if the time comes we need to split up.
Can I go ahead and look at my shield?
Sure. Your shield's perfectly normal at this moment.
Okay.
At this point in time, guys, the rain begins to pick up a little bit heavier, and it's starting to obstruct some of the vision that you guys currently have. And you can start to hear thunder above you. This is starting to turn into a thunderstorm.
Throw my cloak's hood up. And
You guys continue onward?
Oh yeah, I'm continuing on.
Right. You make your way around the trap that is in front of you guys. Coming through the woodland.
Oh, good lord. Oh, fucker. Sorry.
And Lydia Mullins is kind of like looking up at the sky, and she's like, Lydia Mullins is kind of looking up at the sky, and she's like, "Man, this rain's really coming down." And then Balerov, you put your hand at her torso, and you stop her from walking into the trap because she wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Guys, keep moving forward through this wood line, and you guys it's really thick, like I said, and you guys get to right about this point before 8 hours of travel. You started from right here, and that was about as far as you guys get. Now about mile 50 into the trip of 75 miles.
And it's what? It's getting dark now, or what?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I don't know. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, the shade of the trees is starting to drape towards the east, which means the sun is now setting in the west. You can notice that the sun might not be up for much longer.
Gotcha.
What do you think, Balerov? Time to call camp.
I think you should. I think we should definitely camp. Is there any? I would like to roll perception to see if there's anything nearby we could use to give cover.
Sure, you can roll perception to find that. Go ahead and do that now. Lydia is going to help you because she's also a part of a kind of a wilderness. She'll roll a survival check. She'll try to develop some sort of makeshift shelter.
16 total.
Noticed, really, you do find some really decent lumber that is broken off but could be laid out over top of you guys, and it would even support itself through some heavy winds. Lydia begins to realize that she doesn't know what she's doing in the forest anymore. She's getting kind of scared from the thunderstorms. Yes. She rolled a natural 1. That's how that goes. She tried to be helpful, but that didn't happen. Go ahead. Ralph, you do notice some good lumber that could use for shelter.
Okay, I would like to use that to make shelter then.
Roll a survival check. Isak, you see him doing this, and Calico sees it too. And Calico,
Cutting some wood up.
he's found some lumber to make shelter. Lumber. Pretty sturdy.
I rolled a 2.
Hey, do you want to help him, Razak?
What's he doing?
He found some lumber that he could use to make a shelter,
Yeah.
and that way you guys can have a good place to sleep, make camp, and make
He
a
just
fire.
found random actual lumber in the middle of this forest.
When I say lumber, I'm talking
Fallen
about
trees and stuff.
large fallen tree trunks and tree branches that could be laid on top of each other for support for some leaves, and then the leaves could be used as cover.
So he's trying to cut some of this up and then fashion something with it. Is that what he's
At this point in time, he's trying to design it, but it's not looking too good. It doesn't look like it's quite right. So if you want to help him out, you could make it look better if you help him.
Sure. I don't know.
Sure. So you walk up behind him.
I don't really know what's going on though. Razak doesn't. He's like, "What the hell is he doing?"
I let him know that I am trying to use the lumber to provide cover from the rain.
Oh, interesting. That's not a bad idea. You should try it like this.
Roll advantage on your survival check, Zach. Roll again.
17.
Yeah, you guys are able to make a very decent shelter. The leaves are able to support the weight of the rain, and you begin to hear clashes of lightning and thunder around you. The shelter is about 9 feet tall, and it's just wide enough to fit a party of 4 people underneath it. Calico comes back to you guys, and he says, "Look what I found inside the forest," and he holds up these 2 interesting-looking birds that are yellow-feathered, and they have rather large bills, and they're dead in his hands, both of which had looked like they've been attacked by a spear wound. And he
How big
throws
are the
them
birds?
underneath the shelter. They're enough to feed 4 people, no problem. 4 normal people. I don't know about a 400-pound elephant and a dragonborn.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he threw a spear through it, so it must be a pretty big bird.
Yeah, it's a good-sized bird.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere in between the size of I don't know birds. Toucan, I guess. How big are toucans? I don't know. It's like a turkey. It's like
All right.
bit smaller
There
than
you
a
go,
turkey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Turkey. All right.
Toucan. I don't know how big a fucking toucan is.
I mean, he said it had a giant yellow bill, so I was already
able to hold-
thinking toucan, but
No, it has a giant bill. It's a yellow feathered bird.
oh, okay.
So, right. So he throws him up, and he kind of begins to start to lay out a makeshift cooking grill where the 2 sticks support a middle stick that goes across the fire where you
Yeah,
can turn the
gotcha.
birds.
I'm gonna kind of nervously just keep watch while he's doing that.
Guys,
makes a ramshackle spit.
does what?
He
Yeah,
makes a
for
ramshackle spit. That's what
Oh
that's called.
yes, that's what that's called. Okay. Lydia's with you guys. She's chilling underneath the thing. She's kind of like sitting down, relaxing underneath this thing. You guys hear the loud sounds of the clashing thunder above you and the lightning that streaks across the sky. Trees do provide great cover, and you don't think you'll have any trouble tonight with the lightning causing any disasters among the party. You guys make camp, and you begin to put out your bedrolls, and you fall asleep.
I would like to take
I don't do that.
watch.
I'm taking every single watch tonight.
Oh, okay. I agree, and I get in my bedroll.
Okay.
Or at least I'm taking first watch.
Okay.
It's too late. I'm already in my bedroll.
I'll wake one of you up later. Who wants second watch?
I'll take second watch.
Okay.
Okay. The first watch, it's about 8 o'clock. It's about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You guys are about to hit the hay. Some of you are still awake, kind of doing some few things, but about within 2 hours, you start to nod off, but you have a long day, a journey ahead of you. Fall asleep. And no one has to take out rations because of the birds, which is great. You guys do get, well, hold on, don't take the long rest yet, obviously. Let me see what's going on here. Razok, roll me a perception check. Disadvantage because of the obscurity from the rain.
15.
It's starting to get really dark too.
15.
You don't really hear anything at all. It's pretty normal. The rain is kind of muffling a lot of the sounds that would be able to be audible around you. It's hard to see stuff, but it's really not I think it's a pretty safe watch so far.
I need to take a quick break.
Okay. Yeah, we should probably. You guys want? Do you want to take a quick break, Ryan? Too.
Yeah, I just use the bathroom
yeah,
real
sure,
quick. So.
I gotta get some water. Oh, and Ryan, drop the 5-point maximum HP.
Yeah, okay.
It's been 8
Plus
hours.
4. How many hours is it for? 8?
8 hours. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
You're coming up to day 2 here. I like the ambient music. Actually, really cool. Going pretty good so far. Yeah. Nikki? happened to Ellie's game?